everybody. I hope everybody's having a really good week this week. So this week, what's popping and dropping is a cup of coffee where the spoon looks like it's stirring the tea. I'm making two different files, but in this file with the coffee cup, there are three different types of cups you can use. You can use a cup and a saucer like this, or there's like a regular coffee mug that you can use. And then the other one we're going to do today is going to be a like mason jar pop up. So why don't we go ahead and head over to Design Space, and I'm going to show you what comes in each of those files. Okay guys, here is the tea cup or the coffee cup pop-up card. There's some extra pieces I made for this file if you would like to use those. We have some coffee beans, some border teacups or the border coffee mugs and a teapot. Also these little white pieces over here are steam. If you want to add any additional pieces to this file, why don't you go ahead and do that. Don't forget to go up and name and save your project. Now let's hop over to the Mason Sweet Tea pop-up card. When you open it up, it'll look something like this. If you want to add any additional pieces to the file, go ahead and do that. Don't forget to go up and name and save your project. If you'd like, we can go ahead and get our pieces cut out, and I'll meet you at the craft table and we'll put this together. I'll see you there. So first, why don't we go ahead and work our middle score line. So let's do that. The card this week is going to open in this direction, so long ways. So why don't we go ahead and put our bigger pieces of pretty paper on. So let's do that. Okay, so we have our pretty paper on. Now, whichever side you're going to use for your inside, choose that. And then what I'm going to do is put my little pretty paper of my lemon paper, and it's going to go just about, I don't think I want mine all the way to my top up here. I think I'm going to leave some of my green showing. And then I'm going to do the same thing for at the bottom. I'm going to line it up about like so. Let's go ahead and put this on the inside of our card. Look how cute that's looking. Now, I decided I am going to do lemons across since we're getting into springtime. And I'm going to do it just about at the edge of my little piece of pretty paper. So I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to do it something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these on. And with this piece with my lemons, I did yellow cardstock, and then the next two layers I did in vinyl. And if you notice right here, I don't know if you can see that square little piece right there, but I accidentally tore mine apart. Instead of making a whole new one, I just cut a little small square and then attach these two pieces back to each other. And then for the bottom one, I'm going to put it at the top of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece on. All right. So now why don't we get our pieces out to our cup. I've got now my pieces to my mason jar, my two pieces that are for my mechanism I have out, and then I also have my ice cubes out and my lemon because I'm going to show you guys how I put this together. Now for my cup, if you want it to look shiny, what I did is put some packing tape over the top of it on both of these pieces. This I wanted it brown because I want it to look like tea. And then I also did my ice cubes. Okay, so I just put some tape on the back of my tea part, and then I'm going to line it up with the bottom down here. And then I'm going to put my ice cubes in the little holes here. We have our little mason jar with our tea and our ice cubes done in it, so we can set this guy aside. Now why don't we get out our two pieces to our mechanism. This piece here, we have 1, 2, 3 score lines, and then these two slits over here. And what I want us to do is fold that towards us on that score line. Now we want to take it and fold it to the back side. So let's do that. Then once we have it folded, we have another score line right here. And what we want to do is take and just pinch that like so and fold it towards us. And you can work it back and forth a couple of times. And then we're just going to open that piece back up. We're going to push our little piece forward. And if you notice how when I'm pushing it forward, it's starting to make our little slot piece we cut out go forward too. And then we can fold that flat. Then we just need to work our other two score lines here. So let's do that. Now, you can put your piece anywhere in your score line you want. I want mine in the center. Okay, so we have our piece that's worked here. And we're going to go ahead and fold this piece forward. And then this is the tab at the bottom we're worrying about. We want to fold it completely over like so. And we're going to bump that all the way up to our score line. Now I want mine centered, but you can put your mechanism anywhere you want in your score line. You just remember when you put your cup on, it's not going outside of your card. So once you have it where you think you like it, we just put a little glue on our end tab here and then place it back down. So I'm going to pick mine up like so. Put a little glue on here. Bump that section up to our score line, and I am going to center mine. So let's go ahead and put that down. So now we should have something that looks like this. Now we want to fold this piece back on our score line. Then we can push our top piece up, and we should have this little guy poking out. Okay, and then I want you to fold it completely flat. And then once we have it flat, I want you to fold it back down like so. So we should have like a little U here. And then on that score line, fold it back. So you should have something that looks like that. Now we are going to take glue and put it all around this section here. And then we will close our card on top of our mechanism. So let's do that. So we have glue, and then we're going to fold this shut. You want to give this a second to dry. Okay, so once we think it's dry enough, we can open it up, and that's what it will look like. Now we can put our cup on and our mason jar, whatever we're using, and that will just bump up and glue to our little rectangle section here, like so. And then our little strip here, place it on this little section right there where that little pencil mark is there. That's where we will put that on too. So I want to put my mason jar on first. So I'm going to put a little glue on my section here and then put it on. So let's do that. And my cup, I'm not sitting directly on my cardstock here. I do have a little space in between the cardstock and the glass. You can put a little glue on the back of this. And remember that little section I showed you? That's where we're going to put this guy on. This is where mine is when it's closed. If you can, I'm going to open it a little. It's all the way over to this side. There is no wrong way to position our little guy here. So when we open it, if you want it to come more across the cup, then we would want to move it more towards the right. So I just shifted mine just a little, and now you can see it's going more across the top of my jar here. Okay, so I'm going to open it so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. And it's just totally up to you where you would want it to be. Now, our straw, you can put anywhere you want, and your lemon too. Spoon is going to end up more over here towards the right. I think that's where I'm going to put my straw, about like so. So I'm going to put a little glue on the top of my straw here and then glue it to the back of my jar. And depending how much of your straw you want seen, how far you need to go up on your straw. You just want to make sure your straw is not going outside of your card, so always give it a test by closing your card. Now for your lemon, if you want it to be on your cup, what I like to do is take my scissors and just cut a little diagonal slit in it like so. And then it will slide on our cup like that. You can put a little glue or tape on each side of the slits and put it down. So I've put a little piece of tape over here, double-sided tape on this side, and then one here. So this piece will go on the front of my cup, and this other slit will go on the back. So I'm just going to kind of slide it in there and then give it a push. And then for our spoon, we just want to make sure it's not going outside of our card here. And you can clip this blue piece. So remember, our card is how I have our card. It's open right now. So just keep that in mind. So once you figure out where you want your spoon at, you'll just put a little glue on it. I'm going to clip mine some here. I took about that much off. It's totally up to you how much you keep on or take off. I just don't want mine to be seen. About like that for my spoon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on. So that's what I ended up doing with the spoon. The front, I'm going to do 2 pieces of the lemon. And in the center, I'm going to do hey hey. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these at the top. So now I'm going to take my hey hey and move. I did green paper and yellow vinyl. So I'm going to just transfer my vinyl over. I did some lemons also for the top here. So I'm going to go put those on. And for the back, for a message, I did a cup mason jar we can write on. Okay, guys, so for the T pop-up card, I wanted to show you how I'm going to decorate the front. So I have the little circle that's in the file we can use. And then I'm going to do a cup and saucer. I think I'm just going to center it in the middle of the circle here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my round piece down. So let's do that. And And then I'm going to put my little saucer down. Then I think what we can do is I'm going to take a spoon and the long time no tea right here. I like that, but something like that. So let me put my tea bag down. All right, I think that turned out pretty cute. And then for the back for our message, I just cut out a decorative badge and then did the border around it. And I found something that kind of goes with this paper in my scraps. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. All right, so we have our little place to write a message done. And what we have left to do is our little tea bag. I wanted to show you guys how you put your tea bag together and on. I mean, it's similar to the spoon. You put it on the same way, the little lever. For our little tea bag piece here, there's a hole in here, and then we have a score line. So if you feed well, let's first work the score line here. Feed our string through our hole here. And we don't need much. And then you can take glue or tape, whichever you want to use, and fold that string right up into that little piece there. So let's go ahead and do that. I cut about 3 inches of string to use. Then for our little end here, I'm going to cut off a little bit. I don't think I need that much. We'll have our T end here, our little white piece, and we'll just put a little glue down on it and then place our string on top of it. And we don't want it going outside of our little white piece here. Take my other piece and put a little glue on it and then sandwich the string in between it. So now we have our little tea bag together. And if you wanted, you could put a little decoration on your little tag down here. We can open our card up and we're going to do the same thing. If you need to snip some of that off, snip it off. And then you'll just place the tea bag wherever you like. You just don't want your little stick here showing. So I'm just going to take a little glue dot here and put it on my little lever and then my tea bag, whichever side you want showing. I think, yeah, I like it like that. And then for our string, I think I like it right there. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue. We don't need a lot. And then put our little white tag right there. Give it a little squeeze. So here's our finished card. Here's long time no tea. And then we open it up and we have a tea bag here. And I did on the bottom some different coffee cups, and then back here is just steamed. And if you notice, I just glued that on the back of my card. But you can also, like I did with this one, you can glue it on the back of the cup. So it's totally up to you how you'd like to put that steam on there. And then on the back, we have a place where we can write a message, or you can do the little jar, mason jar pop up. I love these little mason jars, how they turned out. And the card says, "Hey, hey, hey, sweet tea." And look how cute that is. Very springy. And then on the back, we have a little place where we can write a personal message to somebody. So, a lot of different things we could do with this card. Do you guys know what kind of tea can't be taken to outer space? Gravity. Guys, I want to thank you so, so much for stopping by and crafting with me. Don't forget to stop by next week to see what's popping and dropping. Bye.